In today's video, I want to give you a glimpse into the battle that goes on inside my brain when it comes to fighting the urge to impulse shop. I want to share with you 8 random bags and accessories, some new in store, some pre-loved, that I would have bought without batting an eye if it weren't for me at least having some semblance of willpower to stick to my established wish list. We'll do a tally at the end to see how much I could have easily spent if I had given in. Welcome or welcome back to our Briefcase of Luxury, where we love to chat about all things related to life, learning, and luxury. While I have no intentions of quitting my day job as a business professor, I would love to continue to grow this channel, so thank you for being here today. First up, we have the Angie bag by The Row. I got an email from 24S about new sale items, and to be fair, this is a bag I have looked at before. I know I have dogged on the trash bag look in plenty of videos, but apparently I'm not completely immune to trends. So I can see the appeal of an easy to use, fuss-free, throw over your shoulder and go type bag. And at the sale price of about $1,700 versus $2,400, I thought it was decent. Now, I thought it could be a nice way to scratch that trash bag itch while trying out a new to me brand, since I don't have anything from The Row. But at the end of the day, I worried about how often I would wear the ice blue color, since that was the only one that was discounted. So obviously the next thing I did was turn to the pre-loved market, and lo and behold, Fashionphile had a small version of the Angie bag in excellent condition in a neutral color in their last call section for about $1,200. And oh my gosh, the pull was so strong, especially since I have enough credit at the moment with Fashionphile to cover the full cost of the bag. Now tell me you wouldn't be tempted. However, I do have plans for that credit, and at the end of the day, I know this is a bag trend that may look dated fairly quickly. So I also looked at other options like the Aspinal of London version for about $670, since that's also a brand I've never tried before. And then the last contender was from Veronica Beard, and it was their stash bag that is currently on final sale for $299 as opposed to its retail price of $598. I mean, for a full leather bag and a micro suede interior, I think $299 is more than a fair price, and the struggle here was so real. I love the fact that this had a little gold stake chain just to make it more dressy, and the closure is magnetic, which helps with the cinching for added security. However, the main issue at the end of the day, this style of bag was not on my wish list, and there's something holding me back from adding it to my wish list. The main issue here being its trend factor. I can see how quickly this is going to look dated. Now, the second bag is the new Waverly bag from MZ Wallace. Again, I got an email about this bag, and I just had to check it out because, again, I'm clearly partial to the trash bag look at the moment. And I think it's actually less about the look, but I just like the idea of a bag made of a really soft, squishy leather. And here we're talking about $245 again, nothing to balk at besides the fact that this isn't leather. It is primarily made of nylon with some leather bits. So again, for about $50 more, you can get a full leather bag from Veronica Beard. Either way, you know me, I love me a good coin pouch. I love multiple strap options, and I'm hoping that they release this in more colors, and hopefully this is a part of their Black Friday sale later this year. Now, this third bag kind of came out of nowhere. However, I have been on a kick to try different silhouettes of bags, and one that is not super crazy, but is still unique, is the round crossbody bag. And the one that comes to mind best is the Louis Vuitton Boîte Chapeau. And again, I like the idea of the souple version in the MM size. Now, I don't know what these originally retail for because I think this is discontinued. You can find the regular canvas PM ones for about $2,500, give or take. But pre-loved, I found this white Empreinte version for under $1,500 from Rebag, since they are running some sort of August discount. And once again, the temptation was so strong because I've been low-key considering adding some sort of round bag to my wish list, and I've always toyed with the idea of a white leather bag, so this could knock both of those out. But then I just didn't know for sure how much I would enjoy wearing a round crossbody bag, so I thought it would be smart to test out the style first. Maybe I could get something like Portland Leather Goods Circle bag, and through their almost perfect sale, I thought I had found the perfect one, which is their large circle crossbody in the color Beluga Whale. So instead of it being like a stark white, it's got hints of gray and blue, which I thought was so beautiful. And the large size was actually on additional sale for 20% off. So it was about $62. Again, for a full leather bag, you really can't beat that. I decided to sleep on it for a night. And unfortunately, by the time I decided to pull the trigger on it the next day, the large had sold out. Now the small was still available, but again, in terms of a round bag, yeah, a smaller diameter would look cuter, but I just don't want cute at the end of the day. I want it to be usable, and I just think the large would have worked out better for me. So unfortunately, I took it as a sign that it just wasn't meant to be. They do have the color Bone that's also available, which looks to be a smooth leather and stark white, but without any pebbling or embossing like the Empreinte leather. Yeah, I am worried about color transfer and whatnot. So here we are. I'm still at a crossroad since this shape isn't something I've officially added to my wish list either. Now I'm gonna sprinkle in one jewelry piece, and that is the VCA Lucky Blossom bracelet or necklace pendant. This is honestly the only VCA piece I've ever paid attention to, and I believe in store these currently retail for around $2,700 to $3,500 depending on the version you want. I had thought of maybe buying one from store in France the next time I visited, but generally speaking, this is not their most popular style, so it is possible to simply just buy it off their online store, which is weird because these still retail for pretty high. Like on Fashionphile, there's one available for about $2,500, and again, Fashionphile is my kryptonite, and my balance would have covered that as well. But honestly, with all of the recent quality issues and whatnot that I've been hearing about VCA, I just don't know if I feel comfortable buying their pieces, especially pre-loved, in case something were to happen to it. I don't know if VCA would be willing to service it. Let me know if you know down below. And especially since I've never bought from them before, so I'm not technically a VCA customer, right? But what was interesting was that Google recommended the Tory Burch Kira flower bracelet in mother of pearl, which retails for $130. And you gotta admit, it doesn't look half bad, especially for $130. Like that's not even half the taxes I would pay on the actual VCA piece. And speaking of Tory Burch, which is yet another brand I have never bought from, I am low-key obsessing over their Kira raffia bag. It is currently on sale at Nordstrom for under $300, and this retails for $420. Now, in its defense, yes, I do have a raffia bag on my wish list, and I do have a price ceiling, so to speak, on how much I'm willing to pay for a raffia bag. And it ain't no high-end designer price ceiling either. I just cannot do it. I'm simply unwilling to pay more than $300 to $400 for a raffia bag, and even that stretching it. So when I saw that this is finally marked down, oh man, I've been looking at this for days, and yeah, the pull is strong for this one, especially since everywhere else this is still listed at its full retail price. And along the lines of a raffia bag, the only other raffia bag I have on my list is the discontinued Longchamp Le Panier Pliage vanity bag. So the reason why I've held back on the Tory Burch is because I really only wanted to add one raffia bag, and the one that I've finally decided to officially add to my wish list is the Longchamp version. That way I can knock out a vanity and a raffia bag. And while I've seen it on eBay in the pink and the green versions, unfortunately, the one that I have added to my wish list is the yellow version. And trust me, it's hard to hold out, especially when I've found the pink and green ones for pretty decent prices, anywhere from $100 to $180, $190. But I know even if I were to get the pink or the green version, I wouldn't be 100% satisfied, so I'm holding out for the yellow one to drop someday. I know I'm in no hurry, summer's already over, but it's just hard not to get tempted by the likes of the Kira bag and the other Longchamp versions. Let me know which one you would pick. Would you pick the Longchamp vanity one or the Tory Burch one? All right, the last two are pre-loved finds. I've mentioned the Hermes Berlingo several times now, and if you keep a close watch on eBay, you will find these available from time to time from Japanese consignment stores, typically at very decent prices. So I've been watching two of them for about $1,200, both in neutral brown shades, although the lighter one looks to be closer to orange, maybe at least it's a very light honey brown shade. But at $1,200, honestly, for an Hermes leather bag with a zip closure and an adjustable adjustable shoulder crossbody strap, I find that price point very hard to resist. And yet here we are still resisting. The dark brown one has finally since sold, and it's easy to just want to pull the trigger on the other just out of FOMO. But again, this isn't on my imaginary wish list, at least for this year, maybe sometime in the future. All right, and last one. This is kind of ridiculous, but it is what it is. So you all know I recently bought the Hermes mini Plume bag. Well, Fashionphile has something similar from Prada for about $1,600. That is kind of like the Plume, but maybe even better. You still have top handles that swivel down, but you have this extra handle snap thingy to keep the handles up if you wanted to. You have zippers that go all the way down either sides of the bag, which is great for smaller bags. And you also have a crossbody adjustable strap and a coin pouch. Like, good gracious, this is 100% my kind of bag. But the ridiculous part was the original bag that I saw that I almost impulse bought was this one. And I believe it was down to about $800 before it sold. I mean, how silly would it have been to have bought this right on the tail of buying the mini Plume bag? Now, granted, the black one is double the price currently, but at least it would have been a different vibe, right? Like my two recent MZ Wallace bags with the good cop, bad cop pairing. So once again, we're back to Fashionphile and the credit that I currently have that is making impulse buys like these just all too tempting. So let's do some math. If we went on the high end of everything, within the past 7 days alone, I would have spent about $9,120 pre-tax. And if we went on the low end of everything, I still would have spent $2,689 pre-tax, which yes, is a lot better for sure, but that's still $2,689 I would have spent on things that weren't technically on my wish list for this year. And yes, several of these I could have knocked out with Fashionphile credit, but that would have cut into my actual wish list items. So while I can't say my shopping obsession is at a dangerous level because I did not spend that money and I did not give in to these particular impulse shopping examples, these were still decisions I had to talk myself down from. And even on the low end, it's so easy to want to justify a $60 purse, a full leather purse, right? But $60 here and there can add up just as quickly. And so as much as creating wish lists has its own faults, like for me, there's this urge to want to knock things off the list as quickly as possible. Not having a wish list, for me at least, is even more dangerous. So having a wish list, honestly, is the lesser of the two evils. Let me know some of the impulse purchase decisions you've had to deal with this past week and how much could you have easily spent without even knowing it. Anyways, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. And if you enjoyed your time here, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I can't wait to see you next time.